Welcome, family. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you, and I hope that all is well with you as it is with me on this day, this glorious sunrise. You know, family, poor judge of character, because I still hear Martin Luther King's words ring in my ears, and I'm like, dang, were we that dumb then? Yeah, we had to be really dumbed down with sugar canes and you know what else? In our lower chakras, making these decisions, wrong, bad decisions, talking about judging someone by the character instead of the skin. Since when do we judge anyone of their skin? It's always been color for us. So when we look at it, we shouldn't have to think like that at all. We shouldn't have to think like that at all because um, judging by character shouldn't have ever been a play with us unless we were going by the rules and laws of nature. So because we're not going by the rules and laws of nature, you have this nonsense that was man-made from man's lower chakra mind. And that's what I mean, being in this is where we're at in our lower chakras right now. This is where we exist in. And a lot of us are working towards being out of that. A lot of us are working on getting out of that. So you have things like, now in the society, when they swing their baseball bats at your head, many take that as a sign of endearment when it's really a malicious act. And then you say, well, all they need is a little bit more um, racial education. You can't pull a lower chakra up to your level. You can't pull the lower energies to be like you. You're gonna be facing a no-win battle, and it's gonna in that battle. That's a lost battle because what do we see today? We have sacrificed many of our own people. We have lost a lot of our own because we have lost what is natural to us, and we have taken on what is man-made from a lower chakra mind, but we never knew that. We always thought, well, they're doing this, they're living like this, their survival is violence. They're doing this, they're putting this out. But you thought of it as ways that we could live, or we thought we were connected to that. Yeah, somehow, some way, we thought we were connected to that. That savagery, the wars, and the whole bit. And the reason why is because of the number one thing they started to do. And guess what? Which is rape. And guess what the number one thing they're still doing? Look at them skies. I talked about it the other day. The same thing. It never changed. Nothing has Nothing has been different. When you can tell me something that has been different, then show me a benefit that we have gained. Show me a benefit that we have gained, and I'll tell you a whole lot that we have lost. And that number one thing you lost is being able to rise to a higher chakra, to fly above all of this without the blabbering nonsense from a lower energy's mind frame of thinking. We have to find our own way through this. And blabbering nonsense, it is what we have to deal with on a constant basis. And now Joe Biden is saying that we all gonna get the worst sickness ever this winter. And I'm like, how does he know this? Oh, because his bosses produce it. That's how we know this. His boss said, get out there and get them to do what we need them to do. Enforce, enforce, enforce. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. We need to lock them down. We need to lock them down physically within a prison of hell. We need to keep them locked down in their minds, in their bodies, and keep that soul entrapped. So he says he goes out and he has to push this. He has to push this agenda. Because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make any sense. And it's not going to make sense because it all comes from the lower chakra, where the penis is and the vagina. And that's all you're going to get from this world here that we're experienced in. We have to live our experience out in right now. And I call it the Matrix because it's not real. It's just been, our real world has been overshadowed by it. So, the battle is on constantly out here for us. Each and every one of us have to constantly battle these things. So we have to keep our heads up, our eyes sharp, and the mind aware. We have to keep the mind aware because you never know where it's going to come from. It's in our lives. It's the spiritual unseen thing, but it's coming from us being engulfed in this world and having like our ancestors being forced to be connected to this world. So that's where it all comes from. That's why it's hard to tell some of our people. Some of our people like, oh, well, we got relatives. They want to claim the lower chakra beings, the artificial race, as being their family members. But they don't, because they don't know the difference. They just know what they were taught by them. They just know what they were taught by them. And so, like I said, Biden, he's trying to push this, and this is just an example of what I'm talking about, the mindset But I was able to, I'm always saying that lower energy, lower energy. Now example why. It's the thinking. It's the thinking level, the mind level. It's always out to get for survival. And it's not us doing it. I wish our people open their eyes up and see that it's not us doing it. Even the richest black man, even if he's a coon, he's clueless half the time to what is going on around him. Because they got him pulled into his lower chakra really bad. That's how they get him. Because they want they got the body, they want their souls. All our football players, they got their bodies, they want their souls. So they have them performing from the lower chakras when they want them to keep them there. But then they're like somehow controlling them. They'll put them in the higher chakras to perform their performances, to be able to, their supernatural performances, and become the best. But they'll put them right back in the lower chakra. And it damages their minds and their brains playing the sports anyways. So there's just a lot of things that we shouldn't really engage ourselves in. Because it's all coming from a place of entrapment to entrap us. Especially the lower self, if you know anything about the lower chakras, you know that the lower chakras is in the gut. It's not necessarily your sacred self. Your sacred self is your higher self. The lower self is not sacred. The lower self is going to have you out whoring. It's going to have you giving your vagina to every guy, your penis to every girl. That's the lower self. It just always functions from a place of death and just desecration, just ruining things, destroying things, not keeping it pure, not keeping it healthy. So it's nothing sacred about the lower self. But no, both the lower self and the higher self is, because it is the same thing. But if you're putting yourself in a lower state, is what I'm saying, D. If you're placing yourself in a lower place, that's not good, because you're not going to be working from a high level of energy. You see, the low energy keeps you dragged down and out. The high energy is going to keep you being able to battle whatever's coming forward. You're dealing with the lower levels, but you're dealing with them from a higher level where you don't even have to deal with them, because they're sick, that it's death, that that's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be. So what they have done is they've taken this and they have put it into a class situation. And put people in that state, that lower state, and they have put music, sweat to keep you locked down. And they have put food. Hey, the forecast. They have put food. They have put music and everything to keep you locked down. So it's up to you to overcome all of this nonsense. That's what I'm saying. Your lower self and your higher self are the same people. But you got to take that lower self and bring it high, is what I'm saying. But it has nothing to do with low. You're getting it mixed up with low energy and lower chakras. You don't want to be in the lower place, basically. I'm saying it's a space, it's a place, it's a mindset. And you don't want to be in that mindset. But I can use Biden as an example of what I've been trying to say about lower energies and that mindset. Because he is actually showing and prove that it is that they are working from a lower energy source, giving you that lower, pulling you down to a lower energy source. Now, we were never good judge of characters in that sense, because we gave up our things about our community to be in a community that just put on a face, a facade for us. That just put on a facade for us. And we fell for the Okie Doke. We've always knew. But like I said, somebody can swing a bat. When somebody swings a bat at your head, it's not an act of endearment. It is a malicious act. But our people seem to think, oh, well, they just need a little more education. They're ignorant. We can educate them. No. It's all, us being ignorant to who we are and what the world around us was really about. You know what I'm saying? We're being ignorant. Yeah. We don't know ourselves. We don't know where we come from. And intentionally, we don't know. Intentionally, we don't know these things. Right, Sam? It's all intentional. So that we can be trapped thinking in our minds, oh, well, the next generation of kids are going to be different. So we're going to have nothing. We're going to be able to influence. We're going to be able to do this. The world's going to change. But not knowing that you might be in a world that can't change, that is stagnant, that is purely moved by survival, desire, lust, and hate, and violence. Have you ever thought that because you took on some of the DNA, unfortunately, unwillingly, maliciously, like George Washington, I give that as an example. We know what happened there. They got a black family and a white family in Washington's, right? So this is what happened. This is what happened. So we're wondering why we can't get ahead. Why can't we? No, it won't happen like that. We're at a point where it's going to be a lot more of our people sacrificed. Well, these people we thought were our people, but look like us. And due to this false connection to the matrix that was enforced, just like this Biden is enforcing upon our people in particular, really not caring about sacrificing a few of their own, because that's why they have a lower class and a higher class, and they've always had class issues, which should have been a character mark against them. But that should have been a warning. You know, a lot of people tell their kids to stay away from this group of kids, stay away from these type of people. But, you know, as a whole people, did we ever heed that wise saying of, when you lay down with dogs, of course you come up with fleas? And I want to get back to the violence in Black America, because that's what we raised up with now, with fleas in our community because of that. But like I was saying, it makes no sense. It's idiocracy that you could think that one Versace suit that Biden is pushing is supposed to do something for Omicron, or the Omicron. It's a totally different, it's the result of Versace wearing people, and it's the result of what we see going on in the skies as well. So when I'm gonna let y'all see the beautiful scenery. So when we hear the nonsense, the babble, we are to know that that is not a good judge of character. That's the same character, bad actor that our ancestors have had to endure for centuries upon centuries upon centuries upon centuries, until they can get your soul. Until they can get your soul. But they have the body, now they want the soul. Don't even think about it. Just say no and go. Just say no and go. Thank you guys for being here. Peace to everyone. And until next time, always remember true love, real peace, and your higher self within you, because I believe firmly that you have a higher self. We don't fool around with the lower self. We don't want our higher self to go into the lower self, lower place. We want our higher self to be high, to be able to be powerful, to overcome all of this and not let his soul be sucked. You hear me, D? Peace. And thank you, Forecast and D, for being here. Until next time, peace.